Hi there, Dave here, podcast of a normal guy. Hope everybody's doing okay tonight. I have been on an adventure the last little bit. I've been trying to get more stuff for my podcast here, equipment that is. I bought, I think my last episode I said I got my recorder here. It's awesome. I love it. I'm not going to name names because I'm not being sponsored by anyone, and I don't want to get into trouble by saying brands and all that. And I got 2 lights and a background light back there. You can see it there. I have researched and tried to learn as best I can about lighting and how to do it. And I have to tell you, it is giving me fits. I don't know whether I'm ever going to get this right. I think it looks a lot better now than before with the lights I have set up. I guess it just takes practice. And, I learned about, I don't know if anybody cares about this if you're doing a podcast, or wanting to, but I did research, like I said, about lighting, and it was mostly like the 3-point lighting thing. If anyone's gone to film school or anything like that, then you'd know all about it. So I have my one light here, the main light shining on me, and I have my fill light over here, right? And then I do have a background light, but my area to record in is so small that I can't figure out just yet how to put a backlight on. I'm going to figure it out, though. I figured out everything else. Like, my set is very plain. I have a curtain, right? And then behind my curtain for my other podcast, I have another sort of set there. I have all my football stuff, my Tire Cat stuff there. So when I draw or undraw or whatever, open the curtain, then you can see all of the Tire Cat stuff. So that'll be soon, actually, right? I mean, we're already in March. You wouldn't know it from the weather because it just seems to be perpetual winter out there. But but this whole adventure, it's fun. Not too expensive for anyone out there who's thinking, oh my God, you must spend a lot of money. I haven't. I've bought a couple of things that I've had to send back because it wasn't quite what I thought. Because the one thing I've learned along the way is that a lot of the equipment you need isn't really available in stores. Like, you go to look at Best Buy or whatever, and they're like, oh, we don't have it. It's available online only, or, that sort of stuff. So it's like buying clothes online. You never know whether it's going to fit you or not when it shows up. And that's kind of how it is. Like, the first set of lights I got, they were so bright, I could light up Chicago scenes with them. It was too much. So, and there was no way to turn them down. So, yeah. So anyways, the nice thing too is over the years, I've amassed a little bit of extra material. So the stand that my camera's on is actually just an old, like I originally bought a stand where I could hang a backdrop from it. I have this brick wall, that one, but I have another one too. But I never got that right because it wouldn't sit still, and it flapped in the breeze and whatever else. And I don't really, to be honest, I'm just a normal person, right? Like, this isn't my full-time job doing podcast stuff, even though I really enjoy doing it. So I just didn't have the time or really the proper motivation back then to figure it all out. So I have some stuff laying around that, I have a couple of mic stands that I don't really need. I might end up selling, that kind of stuff. You find that you end up amassing a bunch of stuff that you don't know whether you're ever going to use again, which my wife loves, by the way. She loves clutter, and she really doesn't mind stuff laying around. And so it's great for her. Yeah. So, but I am doing my best to try to reduce the amount of stuff I have. I mean, I want to be able to sell some of the stuff I don't need anymore. Like, I have a ring light that I don't really use anymore. I sort of rigged it up on some old stands that I had, and I might sell that with a microphone so someone can get started. Whatever. Not that I'm trying to infer that I'm a professional podcaster here. I might have half a dozen of dedicated listeners, but I don't care. This is fun for me, and I'm not going to stop doing it. So there you go. Anyways, not really much to talk about today. I just more. I'm finding more that it's it takes me longer to set things up than it does for me to actually think of things to talk about. My podcast has always been pretty informal. I don't do a lot of stuff in advance. I am trying to avoid politics stuff, but as much as I said I want to avoid it, I mean, there's a couple of things that you just can't, you can't ignore right now. The nonsense that's going on with America and I want to say America. It's more just Trump and the stuff with Iran. I mean, there's so much. I mean, you could name so many things, but I think that really. I saw a great hot take. This is just going to sum up sort of my opinion about some of this stuff. There was I don't know, I think it was on Instagram or Twitter or X or whatever. And this person was talking about, basically agreeing with Trump that it's a big deal that NATO allies aren't helping. And, of course, Trump's saying like, oh, NATO allies, you better watch out because, I need your support and you're not coming out. And, of course, he keeps saying he doesn't need any help, but then he does. So whatever. Um, and there could be serious ramifications for NATO. And, you think NATO's supposed to be a defensive organization, started that way during the Cold War. And one of the NATO members has to be attacked. So this hot take was great. So this person was ranting about it. It's like, oh, NATO countries should help out and whatever. And then the person had responded saying, well, Iran's not a member of NATO, so we can't help them. So, as in like, the States is the aggressor and started this war for who knows. I mean, there's all kinds, people will have opinions about it. We don't, I don't really have to go into it all. Again, it's a war of distraction, and, it's also an extension of Israel's will to go to war with Iran and finally found a president stupid enough to help him out. Netanyahu, that is, found a president stupid enough to help him out. So here we are in a war that's driving up gas prices for no reason whatsoever. The lies are being spewed about nuclear weapons still, and it's just, it's too much. So bring on the midterms, which again is the other reason I think this war is being fought, is to delay the midterm elections because Trump knows he's going to get obliterated. Anyways, that's all I'm going to talk about with that. I had some good news recently. So I got my propeller out back in the background there. That propeller, if anyone cares to know, belonged to my grandfather. And I don't remember what the story was. I know he worked in a factory down in Hamilton that used to make propellers for specific kinds of, I think they were civilian aircraft at the time because the war hadn't started yet, Second World War. But anyways, I don't know whether he stole that, how he came to have that, but he had it for a long time, and when he passed away, then I managed to get it into my house. And he was a pilot. He got his private pilot's license later in life. I think he was in his 40s, and then I did the same thing. I was in my 40s, and I got my license a couple years ago. And the news I had was nice. I have, without going into it, I don't want to go into my medical stuff, and you probably don't want to know about it. But I have, a couple of conditions that I have to jump through some extra hoops to keep my medical to fly. And that's fine. I'm happy to do it. But I did all that, and I went up to see the doctor. Like, I have to go see a bunch of doctors first, and to get all my ducks in a row, and then I go see the person who does the specific aviation medical, right? So, did that, and he wouldn't sign my papers because I forgot to do something. There was some blood work I didn't do, so he wouldn't sign off. And really what you want is, I'm not going to get my license out, but they stamp your book. You have a booklet, an aviation booklet, and they stamp your booklet saying, yep, you're good to go. Here's your rubber stamp. You're ready to fly again for another year. And my medicals are only good for a year because of my conditions. And then again, I'm fine with all that. It's a matter of safety, and I don't feel like putting anybody in jeopardy, especially myself. So anyways, all long story longer here. I had to get this blood work done, and then I found out today. He emailed me and said, yep, you're good to go. There's another method you can use to get your stamp. So it's basically almost like an e-signature. So he sent that to me, and so I'm good to go again. So I'm happy about that. Of course, now I'm good to go, and March has been abysmal for weather. I was just talking to my sister about this, and I remember last March I looked at my logbook and I flew a lot because it was so nice in March. Like, winter actually ended. I mean, it wasn't super warm, but I got to fly a lot. And this year, man, it's been so horrible and snowy and windy and cold. I mean, the wind is the biggest thing. You think about flying, and you see a nice sunny day, and you're like, great, let's go flying. And then you see that the wind is, let's do it in kilometers. I look at it in knots, but in kilometers, you'll have like 70-kilometer wind gusts. Well, you can't fly a small airplane in that kind of weather, no matter how sunny it is. Although it'll be fun to try. No, but I would certainly be comfortable. I'm not like a commercial pilot, and I think that most commercial pilots would be a little uneasy too. That's a pretty strong ones. So, anyways, even if I had I didn't get. Usually, I get upset with stuff like that, like, oh, I have to wait longer, and I don't like waiting and whatever. But I didn't get upset because I wouldn't be able to fly anyway. The weather's been so horrible that I wouldn't be able to fly anyhow. So, anyways, yeah. What else is going on? Like, what else can I bore you with? I hope that these podcasts are, you listen to them on the way to work or something, pass the time. That's really what I do this for, is because I have a few extra minutes and I get on and talk about stuff. I've been watching other podcasts and YouTube stuff. There's a lot going on in the world with people voicing their opinions, and obviously it's always been like that, but we're living in some pretty crazy times. And there's this one truck driver in the States. I think, what's his podcast called? Enemy Within, or Enemy Within, or whatever. Anyways, he's a truck driver. He talks a lot about the trucking industry and things that Trump has done to destroy it. And I don't know. I just like his podcast. He comes off as like this sort of uneducated redneck kind of guy, but when you really listen to him talk, like you know, he's not as dumb as he tries to make himself. You know what I mean? His persona out to be. It actually sounds like he's got, well, he at least knows the difference between right and wrong. Put it that way. And he's been right about a lot of things that he's been not predicting, but just saying that what happened to the trucking industry. And it's good to see that kind of stuff. Of course, I watch all kind of flying um, podcasts and YouTube channels, but it's hard to watch that kind of stuff because you watch these people that buy airplanes and stuff, and I have to be honest. I mean, of course, when you get your driver's license, what's the first thing you want to do? You want to buy a car, right? So ever since I got my license, pilot's license, I've been aspiring to see if I could ever scrape enough money together to buy an airplane, and it's bleak. I gotta tell you, it's pretty bleak. I have no idea the kind of loans people get. A lot of the content I watch too is from the States, so it's not really applicable for Canada. There's a supreme lack, actually, of Canadian content. There's a couple of good channels. Like I watched one guy. He's got a beautiful. I can't remember the name of it right now. Beautiful A model 172, silver and red. My cats are going crazy out there. Sorry if you heard that. And I love this guy's airplane. He travels all over the place. Really a smart pilot. He's he's got an awesome airplane. And the avionics in it are just probably worth more than the airframe, right? And that's sort of the way it is now. But yeah, no, it's you look at these people and and there's the one guy in the States that I've watched his channel for forever. And he's Josh is the guy's name, and he you might know who I'm talking about. Again, I'm not naming all these podcasts by name. Some of them I can't remember. I remember this one. I'm just not saying it. He's been flying his 172 that his dad, had. He got his license in it and wherever else, and then him and his partner went and got an airplane built, like a experimental, like a sling, and it's like. I mean, he's a hard worker. He's a filmmaker. I guess he went to school for all that kind of stuff. And I don't know, where the hell did he get the money from? Like where, And again, I'm not asking. I don't want him to be like, oh, I'll tell you how. And it's just, to me, it's like, I mean, I know he's got a lot of sponsors. His YouTube channel's awesome. It's been that way forever. Like I said, he's been on for like over 10 years, ever since he was like young. And now he's like, well, not young, but not old, but not young. And I don't know, great channel. I've learned a lot from it. And but it's like, how the hell? I mean, he already had the airplane. His dad had the airplane, so back when his dad bought the Cessna 172, it wouldn't have been, still would have been expensive, but not like now. But where do you get the money? A new sling, and he helped build it. Like him and his partner helped do the build, and I think his partner's a mechanic, so that helps. And she's got a nice one. I don't know if it's a 152 or a 150. I can't remember. But but where the heck do you get the money? I mean, sponsorships and stuff are one thing, but these planes are like, $500,000. Maybe not slings aren't that much. They got nice Rotax engines in them. I think it's got a Rotax engine in it. I don't know. It's you know what it is. It's depressing because I want an airplane, and then I am like my mission is I want to be able to take my kids. My wife has a hard time flying in small airplanes. She gets airsick, but I at least want to be able to take my kids, and and it's like part of me is like you can only really afford a two-seater, but it's like the useful load is so bad, and if you take two adults, you might be able to fly to like 50 miles away, and that's it because you won't be able to take any fuel, and it's like my mission is really like day trip kind of stuff, like more than just $100 hamburgers and wanting to go for a weekend somewhere or whatever, And I need a four-seater, but I also need to win the lottery. So, anyways, it gets a little depressing, but maybe one day, right? Yeah. So, other things like I keep saying I'm gonna do music stuff, and I will. My cousin's bugging me. Like I bought all this stuff, and the nice thing about the equipment that I have is it's all very portable, so I can go down to his place, and all he needs is a microphone. So, cousin, go out there, get yourself a microphone with an XLR cable, and you can plug into this little unit that I have, and we can do some of our music podcasts. He started a nice Facebook group a long time ago, and he's trying to get it up going again and get people interested in it. So, doing interviews like this, he's got a record player. We can do spins and stuff and talk about it. So, really looking forward to doing some stuff like that. Um, so, hopefully, some of that's coming up, right? But for now, just try not to despair too much about the news. Go about your daily business. We are coming into summer soon. I have summer sports. I'm coaching. I love coaching flag football, and I coach soccer. Of course, my son plays. My daughter played too, but she doesn't play anymore. I didn't get to coach her though. It's one thing that kind of I know it doesn't bother me, but it's just I wasn't coaching yet. Like I was still like I don't work as much as I used to. I have my own little company and I work part time somewhere else. So I do have that work life balance where I can do stuff like coaching and that. So it's nice. But I wish I could have done that when my daughter was playing. But just didn't. Life didn't work out that way, right? But at least she gets to go watch her brother play and all that, and she does help out, which is super nice. Like she'll help with the kid. Like all the time you get kids that you're trying to coach and trying to give direction and stuff, and you get a kid coming up, do up my shoelaces. Thankfully, with the age group I'm in, most of them know how to do their laces up by now. But when they were younger, it's like every 5 seconds, like coach, do up my laces. That's really funny. And you double knot them, but somehow magically they still come undone. Who knows, right? But anyways, I'm gonna leave it there. It's getting late. It's St. Patrick's Day actually, so for all my Irish friends, hope you're having a good St. Patrick's Day. I don't really do much usually anymore on St. Patrick's Day. I just enjoy a drink, usually with my wife. She's working, and it's usually pretty quiet. Didn't used to be, but it is now. But everybody be safe out there. Get home in one piece, and we'll talk to you again soon. This is Dave here, podcast of a normal guy. Follow me on Facebook. Give me a like and some comments. Give me some comments. Let me know what you want me to talk about or not talk about or whatever. So like, subscribe. Have a great night.